Hey everyone, it's Holly. I'm back for another video. Today's video is going to be about beauty hacks. So we'll get into that in a few minutes. I'm going to apply kind of a semi-beauty hack while I'm here talking to you all. So this can kind of be like an interactive type of video. But I just want to thank all of you who've been watching my videos. I really, really appreciate you. It means a whole lot to me. So thanks so much. And if you aren't already subscribed or don't already like the videos, if you could go ahead and do that for me, I would really, really appreciate it. Didn't have time to go to go get my eyebrows done yesterday. I got my nails done, and by then it was so late in the day, and Ben was over it. He kept going through the nail salon, and there was like this statue of Buddha with like all of this, it was like a gold cathedral all around him. It was like this really big thing, okay? And I notice it every time I go in there. But he kept asking me over and over again, really loudly, "Mommy, who's the fat baby? Who's that fat baby? Look at that fat baby." And I was like, shh. I really was hoping that he wouldn't offend anyone. Hold on one second. There you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, I was like cracking up, trying to get him to be quiet all at the same time. So he was over it. Plus, I don't know if any of you all go through this, but after I get my brows waxed, I'm so red. Like red for hours and hours. Like my skin just stays red. And the girl who waxes my brows always uses, like, they have like a makeup counter with testers and stuff there at my hair salon. She always uses their concealer and foundation to kind of try to touch me up so I don't have to go anywhere being so like obviously red, but it still shows through after a little bit of time. So I'm gonna go there today after I go to Ulta. But I just wanted to film this video for you all really quick. I'm waiting for a delivery, and I'm hoping that this video will be the last one I'm filming in my bathroom. So if I'm not filming in like an echoey room, I'm hoping that the sound quality is going to be a lot better. But fingers crossed that the delivery gets here soon so I can get to work on setting everything up. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into this video all about beauty hacks. Now, I'm going to talk about these, and I have some notes written out, but I'm gonna talk about these as I do kind of the first beauty hack I'm gonna tell you all about. Okay, so if you're traveling, and say you're just going on like an overnight trip, or 2 nights, you know, but you have limited space to pack, or you really just don't want to pack a bunch of things because you're not going to be gone that long. Carrying like a bulky eyeshadow palette can, you know, take up a lot of space. Also, if you're worried about your palette being ruined just from being in the luggage and being thrown around, especially if you're flying, because that's how one of my favorite palettes got ruined. The baggage handlers just didn't take, you know, extra care with it, which they didn't know that they had to, so I'm not blaming them. But you don't want, you know, your products to be damaged, or you don't have room, you know, multiple reasons. But you know, what you can do is use other makeup items and repurpose them for eyeshadow. And 2 of my favorite things to use for eyeshadow are my bronzer and my highlighter. And you know, these can be more easily replaced than a whole palette. So what I do is I just take some bronzer, and I'm going to take this out of here real quick. This is my Benefit Hoola bronzer. Just clean off, I'm going to clean off some of the leftover residue from yesterday off of my brush. I only clean my brushes about once a week, and I don't know if I've told you all this before, but this is kind of a beauty hack that I just use either Dawn or Gain dish soap to clean my makeup brushes, or shampoo. And I've heard that baby shampoo is a really good one also, but you don't need to spend tons of money to get a product to clean your brushes. Those things work just fine. They don't damage the bristles on them. They pretty much stay the same. So I recommend that. But anyway, so I just take a little bit of this bronzer, swirl my brush in it, tap off the excess, and I'm going to use that in my crease and kind of on the outer edge of my eye. Now, if you can see how terrible this makeup is looking on my nose and under my eyes and on my chin, that is because I had to use this Hard Candy Glamouflage that I talked about in my makeup graveyard as concealer. This is such a terrible product. I mean, it is just awful. It's under my eyes. It doesn't look quite as bad under there, but it is so patchy and terrible. I can't even believe I used half a bottle worth of this stuff. Not gonna work here anymore. Period. So, go back in to that bronzer, and you can use that where you would put your crease shade or your transition shade. It's just gonna kind of give you a little bit of color on there. Just keep going in. Depending on how light or dark your bronzer is, you might need to dip back in a few times. I'm just going to put that on there. And while I do this on the other eye, I'm going to get into the beauty hacks. Like, I spent the last couple days watching a bunch of videos on YouTube about beauty hacks. So I could kind of look at what I've tried before and what I haven't tried, and maybe see if you all have tried any of them, and you can give me some feedback about them. But there are some that actually a lot of them that I've already tried before, and I can tell you whether they worked or not. Here's one I haven't tried, and I'm going to tell you what I have tried and that has worked for me. So you can tell me if you've tried this before. But they mixed salt, water, and conditioner to smooth out frizzy or staticky hair. And they just poured it all into like a little squirt bottle and squirted it directly onto their hair, and it worked. Now, what I do for this is I will use a little, there's multiple things you can do. For static, and I mentioned this on down here, but for static, you can actually take your hairbrush, pull a dryer sheet tightly across, and poke the bristles through the brush or through the dryer sheet, and then brush your hair with it, and that will help get rid of static, and it will also help to make your hair smell good. Say if you're not on your hair washing day, it will make your hair smell really nice and just kind of freshen it up. Another thing that I use to get rid of static is hairspray. You can use this on clothes too. If you take a shirt out of a dryer and it's really staticky, just spray some aerosol hairspray up inside of that shirt. And don't put a ton to where it's gonna feel wet inside. Just, a couple mists, and that will take the static away. And for frizziness, I use one of two things. I don't buy like a Frizz Ease or anything like that. I will either go in with like some coconut oil that I have in the spray form that I talked about on my channel before. This is the Palmer's Coconut Oil Body Oil, and I will just put some on my hands and then kind of run it through the ends of my hair. You don't want to put it up here, and if you do, you want it to just be a very little bit and just lightly pat to get rid of those little frizzies that happen up here. Or if I'm putting some hand lotion on, after it gets mostly dry on my hands, then I just rub my hands through the ends of my hair to kind of make it not be as frizzy, or to smooth out those dead ends, whatever. So that's kind of my experience with that. I don't really feel like this little mixture of salt water and conditioner is necessary. And you can also use hair conditioner when your hair is dry, and kind of rub your hands together and smooth it out in the same way that I use the lotion. Okay, so I've got the bronzer in my crease area, and now I'm going to use my finger. This is so hard to open. And this is the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. I'm going to use my finger and just get some on it like that. And I'm just going to pat it across my lid. This is a nice, like, simple look, but it looks like you've done something to your makeup without, you know, having to have a full palette or having to spend a lot of time on it. I really like this. I do this a lot, just when I'm at home. You know, if I'm just going to run out to the grocery store or run into Evan's school or something like that, I'll just do this really quickly, pop on some eyeliner and lashes, and run out the door. So this is really a good little trick. And it doesn't have to be a gold highlighter. This is in the shade Molten Gold, but you can use really any color of highlighter. Okay, so the next hack is if you break your makeup. So say I drop this on the floor and it breaks. All you need to do is pour a little rubbing alcohol into it. Use the back of like a spoon and kind of press it back down into the pan that it comes in, and then let it dry overnight. And then when you get up the next morning, it's all pressed in there nicely and it's not going to break out again, unless obviously you drop it, but it's not going to like break up as soon as you use it or anything. And that works with any like powder style makeup. This also sanitizes it. So say a friend of yours gives you an eyeshadow palette, and you know, like eye infections and things, those are very real. So you don't want to risk maybe passing infection back and forth or something. You can also just pour a little bit of rubbing alcohol in it and smooth it out, and that will sanitize the makeup. So just something to think about. Or say you buy some makeup and somebody says, you know, I only swatched it, but I'm selling it at a good price. You can use the rubbing alcohol to sanitize it. Okay, so my next one, my next little hack that I'm going to do with you all is if you have trouble getting a straight line with your eyeliner, prop your elbow up on a counter as you do it, or on your knee, and look like that's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to look down in this little mirror to do my eyeliner. If you prop your elbow up, it's going to give you a much more steady hand. You're not like flailing your elbow out and your arm being able to move and things like that, or your hand moving in the process. So I recommend that. Today I'm going to use this Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner plus Serum. I don't love this. This is a lot of people's like holy grail item. I don't even know if you can see that because it's so... There you go. As far as eyeliner goes, I'm not a fan of this because I feel like I have to kind of go over it in a second or third coat to get the level of black that I really want. But, you know, for beginners, a felt tip pen is really, really helpful with helping you to get that straight line and working on a wing. So that part of it's nice, but this just doesn't give me the pigmentation that I'm looking for. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to go ahead and apply this. If your lipstick is almost empty, you can scrape it out of the tube with a, you know, any kind of like scraping. You can use like a butter knife if that's small enough, or some tweezers or whatever you can to scrape the product out into a little container. And then add some coconut oil to it and freeze it, and that's going to allow you to use the last like several applications that are still left over in the tube that you can't really reach. So you know, you don't want to like freeze it overnight or anything, but freeze it for a couple hours and you'll be able to use it. And that's just a little tip. Sometimes if you take them out of their tubes, they can dry out, and so that's why you want to put a little bit of the coconut oil in it, but I wouldn't put a ton, just my little 2 cents. Okay, if your foundation is in a glass bottle and it's almost empty, what you can do is take a straw and cut it, and just cut off like, say from the bottom of the straw, cut off about a third of it. And I don't mean off the end, cut up inside, about a third of it. So then it kind of makes a little scooper, and you can reach that straw down in there and scoop the rest of the foundation out and put it in a container as you want to use it. And that will work too. I've actually tried that before. I saw it on a video and I'd forgotten that I even tried it. Sorry you're looking at the top of my head right now. I'm doing my eyeliner. But it really worked. It scraped it right on out of there. It's so much more easy than having to like shake the bottle repeatedly trying to get it out, that just scrapes it right on out of there. So that's a good one. Because if you think, like, you might think, just toss it, I can't really get this out. But if you think that every bottle that you purchase, you do that to it, that's like wasting a lot of money over time. So just a little thought there. Okay, the next one, eyeliner on an eyelash curler. So what they're saying that you should do is that you should put eyeliner on this part of the curler and then press it up against your eyelid as you're curling your lashes, and that it will leave like a stamp of eyeliner. This is more trouble than it's worth. Like, I would have to literally not be able to draw even something that resembled a line on my eye before I would do this. Like, maybe if you're kind of a really shaky individual, like someone with Parkinson's or something like that, this might work, but even still, your hand's not going to be steady holding it up to your eye long enough. So I just, no, I'm just going to say that this is way more trouble than what it's worth. But another one, while we have the eyelash curler out here, is heating up your eyelash curler with like a, maybe like holding it up against a candle or heating it up with your hairdryer before you curl your eyelashes will give you better results. So that is true, and I do that sometimes if my lashes really aren't curling after multiple times of me trying to do it. Okay, next one is a homemade lip scrub. Now there are several different products that you can make this lip scrub out of. Coconut oil and honey, or no, coconut oil and sugar will work, but also I saw suggested honey, olive oil, and sugar. You just mix it all together. You need to put a lot of sugar in there and then scrub it across your lips for, 1 or 2 minutes, and just keep scrubbing and let those granules of sugar really exfoliate your lips. That's gonna take away any dead skin that you might have on there. If your lips are extra chapped, you can gently do that before applying a lip balm. So it's kind of starting with a more smooth surface. I need to stop talking and do this. But those will work. Okay, one thing, and I didn't see this on any videos that I watched, but I did see a couple other suggestions as to what to do. And I was like, wow, that's just way more trouble than I'm willing to deal with. So one tip, just from me personally, is if I'm painting my nails, which I get them done so I don't paint them too often anymore, but if I'm painting my nails, I will paint them, and especially my toenails, before I get into the shower. And then it's just like from standing in the shower for a few minutes with that hot water running, it will take any mess ups that you might have around the nail right off. I mean, you don't have to scrub it or anything. So sometimes, excuse me, if I'm getting ready to get in the shower, I'll paint my nails, let them dry for about 20 minutes because you don't want to get straight into the shower. But let them dry for about 20 minutes, and then I'll jump in the shower, and I mean, I can like haphazardly kind of just put it on, and it will come right off, like in the shower. So I don't really have to pay a lot of attention as to like if I'm staying within the lines, and that kind of saves time. Plus, it's hard to go in with a Q-tip with the acetone and kind of rub it off without getting it off of your nail. So that's just a recommendation that I have. Okay, here's another one that I haven't tried, but maybe you've tried. They say if you take some black tea, so just put the tea bags down in some hot water, let it cool off a little bit, add some vinegar, swirl that tea bag around, and then rub the tea bag on razor burn, that will take it away. I've never tried that before, so I don't know. I'm gonna put on this other eye, but you may have, so check that out, or let me know if you have tried it previously and how that works. I don't have razor burn too often, but when you do, and especially if you're gonna wear shorts or a skirt, it's nice to have a little hack that's gonna help you out. So if somebody tries it, let me know. If not, I might try it at some point. I just didn't have any black tea. I had vinegar, but not any black tea to test it. Okay, so the next one is going to be, this is something that I learned back when I was in college, there was this, I'm not even really gonna say on my channel because I try to keep it very, very family friendly. I hate watching YouTube videos or certain YouTubers, and I feel like I can't watch it because my kids are around, because it's just inappropriate for children's ears. So let's just say there was this company that kind of did these parties at people's houses, and they sold different items that you could purchase. And one of the items they sold was like a cream for shaving sensitive areas. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. And so when she was selling it, especially if you would buy like other items, so you were already kind of supporting her, she would say, this cream is actually just conditioner in a bottle. So use conditioner to shave your legs or more sensitive areas, and you're not going to get like the razor burn or have any problems with it. So that was advice directly from someone who sold it. She knew what the ingredients were, and she was kind of like, don't waste your money, which I appreciated. And it actually made me want to buy other products from her because of her honesty. So that's all I use now. I never, ever, ever, ever use a shaving cream because I feel like the irritation on my legs or, you know, anywhere else is so much less if I use the conditioner. So that is tested and proven, and I love that. So much cheaper. Plus, I don't know about you all, but I never go through shampoo or conditioner at the same rate as I go through shampoo, because I usually just put conditioner from about here down, and do one treatment. Whereas with my shampoo, I wash my hair twice. Because the first time I wash it, I just get like any buildup of any dry shampoo or hairspray or mousse or whatever off my hair. Excuse me. And then the second wash is to really get my scalp clean and my hair clean. If your shampoo's kind of trying to fight residue, it's not really getting your hair clean. So that's what I do. I mean, I don't know if that's like a proven hack or anything, but it's just what I do. All right, the next one is, if your mascara is dried up. Funny that we're going to talk about that because I'm going to put some mascara on right now, but I need to find, there it is. Okay, I'm going to put some glue on my lashes first. If your mascara is dried up, you can add I usually do 2 to 3 tops drops of eye drops or saline solution directly down into the tube. Put your wand back down in there, kind of swirl it around a little bit, and that will give you some moisture back to the product without harming the product, to where you can get, you know, a few more uses out of it. It's not going to last you like another month or anything, but you can get a few more uses until you can get to the store and get another tube. Also, you can put it in hot water, like get a cup full of hot water and drop it down in it, and that will kind of loosen it up from the inner walls of the packaging. And so that can help also. Let's see, the next one is, I am never going to use any kind of tape or anything on my eye here to get me like a better wing or a better point with my eyeshadow. I'll go in after the fact and just clean it up with concealer. So I'm never going to do that, and here is why. First of all, you take off any makeup that's underneath of it when you remove the tape, and I like to do my eyes last. Second of all, you are pulling at your skin here that's very sensitive, and over time that's only going to make your skin saggier and more wrinkly by tugging and pulling at it, especially if you do it every single day. So I'm never going to do that. But this hack that they said was, instead of using tape, to use maxi pads, like cut them up and stick them to your face. No, not going to happen here. No. So, but I really do not recommend putting any kind of sticky, tacky tape on your face or a maxi pad and the adhesive on the back of it and peeling it off every day. They do make these that are specifically for makeup, like the tape, and maybe those are a little better, but I've never tried them just because I'm kind of afraid of them. So, you know, I don't want to ruin my skin. You only get one skin. So I'm not trying to make it all saggy and wrinkly prematurely. It will happen, but I don't want it to happen anytime soon. Okay, so the next one is, the beauty hack was on this video I watched, said to boil your dirty jewelry in Coca-Cola and that it would clean it. I would imagine that can work. I have never tried that. However, my grandmommy taught me, and it's been tried and true for me, is just put like some ammonia into a little Tupperware container and then put your jewelry down into that container, put the lid on it, and then shake your jewelry up in it, then lay it out and kind of press it into a paper towel to dry, and that works just as well, if not better, than any jewelry cleaner. So if we're talking about like a household item that can work, ammonia would be it. Plus, that's kind of less trouble than boiling the Coke and then putting your jewelry in it and letting your jewelry boil. So that's just been something that has worked for me. Okay. Rubbing ice under your eyebrows or in the middle before you pluck your brow hairs can help them to be numb. So then that way it doesn't hurt as much when you're plucking. And that definitely works. Okay, another thing that this video did was heating up colored pencils for eyeliner. No, don't do that. Don't do that. They make colored eyeliner pencils. And if you are like, if you just, can't afford to do it, so you have to use some colored pencils that you already have at home, you can buy like the different colored eyeliners at Hard Candy, the Hard Candy ones from Walmart. I'm not going to say they work fantastically, but they have to work just as well as a colored pencil would. They said just put it down, tips down into hot water and let it sit there until it gets warm and soft and then use them as eyeliner. No, those are not approved for use in your eyes. Like, no. And you can say, well, I'm not putting it in my eyeball. Yes, but you get like your tear ducts create moisture in and around your eyes to where it is inevitably going to get into your eyeball. Might not be a ton, but some of it is. No, don't do that. Are we in jail? That's what they do in jail, like use different products like that for makeup. Don't do it. If it's not approved for use on your eyes or on your lips, don't do it. Just don't, please. I don't want people getting like big eye infections or, having eye irritations and problems or potentially going blind because they're using products on their eyes that aren't meant for use on eyes. No, don't do it. So another one is using plastic forks for curlers. No. They make like sponge rollers that you can buy very inexpensively. You can even buy a curling iron for like $15. How long do those plastic forks even have to stay in before you get any like results from them? I don't know, but that made the ends of this girl's hair look terrible. Again, are you in jail? I don't get that. Another one was kitchen sponge for applying foundation. I got my Real Techniques beauty sponge on sale for $2.50 at Walgreens. They also almost always have them where you can buy one, get one half off. So I don't really see why it's necessary to use a kitchen sponge for your face makeup. No. And I would imagine it would absorb a lot of the product because it's not made, these they absorb a lot of the product, but a kitchen sponge is made to absorb wetness. Like that's what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to go with a no on that one. Never tried it, but I would think, plus those are really like porous. So I would think that it would leave your face feeling really patchy. Okay, another thing that I saw was liquid pantyhose. No. What they used was they used concealer mixed with lotion. Put it on your legs and then you don't have to wear pantyhose. one that's kind of like the same concept of a sunless tanner. However, sunless tanner is made to not come off. So if you want to go to a friend's house and sit on a white couch or sit on white interior in a car or tan interior and ruin it because that color of the concealer came off of your legs and onto the seat you're sitting on, okay, go ahead and do that. But I just feel like that looks like a gigantic mess. Like huge, huge mess. So not going to recommend that. Enlarging lips by sucking on a shot glass or a small glass where you suck it into where it's like an airtight seal and it puffs your lips out. If you feel like that's something along those lines are absolutely necessary, you can purchase a lip plumper, which is a product you put on your lips. It kind of has a tingling sensation and will plump your lips up. Or they make special, and I think they're made out of like silicone products. After that craze, everybody was doing that Kylie Jenner lip challenge or whatever, where everybody was using the shot glasses and things to do it. They started making like silicone things that do that, and they're a little safer to use because you bust the capillaries along your lips where the cup creates the seal around your mouth, and then you can have bruising. What? No, don't do that. Please don't do that. That's got to be so bad for you. I'm going to say that's a no. Okay, and I think we're down to the last one, which is good because this is like 31 minutes long. But the last tip is if you are out and about somewhere, it's winter time, and you don't have any lotion with you, but you do happen to have a tube of chapstick. And I did have one in here, I think. Here we go. You do have a tube of chapstick. You can just take the chapstick, rub it on your hand, and into any dry places that you may have, and rub it in. And it doesn't work just like a lotion, but it will give you that temporary relief if you're like desperate for lotion. I know I'm like addicted to lotion. If I can't go one day without it. So if I happen to be out somewhere like on a winter type of hike or something, had chapstick in my pocket, this will work a little bit for it. I mean, my hands feel much more moist now. Plus this smells like sugar cookie. So that's just, a little trick. It's not, like I said, it doesn't work as well, but it will work. All right, well, that's it for all the beauty hacks that I looked up and to talk about. There are many more out there, but I didn't want this video to be like 5 hours long. So if you have any of beauty hacks that are your favorite, tried and true, that work better than like the original way of doing things, please comment below and let me know, because I'm always interested in trying out new things that can save me time or money or effort.